And let's go now with Radhakrishnan, and then I will have to introduce the distinguished professors and amend a little mistake I have done with regard with one of our panels. I thought that the person that won't be joining us actually is the one who joined us, and the other person that I mentioned that will join us is not actually joining us. So I am not sure if I make it clearly, but welcome, Dr. Chawla. You are here, you are well, so thank God. And we will miss the person that we won't be able to join. And also, I would like to introduce as the three distinguished professors in the audience: Kamala Ganesh, Binod Kadia, and CCS BAT, that will have, I'm sure, a few questions for you all later on. So right now, let's go with Radhakrishnan. You have 6 minutes.
Thank you. This is
You're welcome.
Generally talking about dominant media narratives in the media, there are actually two kind of narratives. One is concerning the international migrants, and the other concerning the internal migrants. I believe the story of the internal migrants were played out largely in the Indian media rather than the international migrants. There is a reason for that, but I'll first come to the story of the international migrants. There is an estimation that about 8 million to 10 million workers, migrant workers, blue-collar workers, are in the area that is popularly referred to in India as the Gulf countries, which basically is the GCC countries. And of them, 2.1 million are from Kerala, according to a survey conducted by the CDS, a Kerala Trivandrum-based organization, Center for Development Studies, which did a migration survey in 2018. 2.1 million of the nearly 10 million workers are from just one small state of India, which is called Kerala. And these people are spread across 6 Gulf countries, which is basically Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, and Kuwait. And the remittances to India just in 2018 from the Gulf countries was in the region of $80 billion. The total remittances from migrant workers back into India was $80 billion. So this is the background of the international workers who have gone from India. And of course, these are most of them are regular workers, and they are all desperate to come back to India, to their families, because COVID crisis, you didn't have any proper information in the Gulf countries. In fact, a lot of the migrants who are talking to me and a lot of our friends, I'm very sorry that Reggie, the person from Kerala, is unable to attend. He would be able to give a clear picture of what's happening in Oman. Now, what we know is that the number of infections are increasing in the Gulf countries, regardless of the fact that UAE has opened up, some of the other countries are opening up and whatnot. But the fear is very palpable, and the fear is actually real, and they all want to come back. Unfortunately, there are not enough flights. The government of India has started what is called Vande Bharat flights, which basically are repatriation flights. But unfortunately, again, the government of India charges for these flights. You have to pay your way to find a seat on these planes. Now, because of that, Qatar decided that it is not going to allow Air India landing rights, and a lot of people were stuck in Qatar and could not come back. And there are problems. Even US, there are problems right now, because the US has said that India is not is operating these flights on a commercial basis, and why is India not giving us the opportunity to fly into India? The charter flights, US carriers, why are you not allowing them into India? So there are all kinds of problems in repatriating people from various parts of the world to India. And this is one of the main concerns of the international workers, as reflected in the press, and of course reflected in various social media and other ways. In fact, I personally have tried to intervene in several cases. In one particular flight, I know for certain, which flew into Kochi from Abu Dhabi, there are 80 pregnant women between the weeks of 30 and 37 weeks. And apparently that was the last time that they could fly. I mean, beyond that, they have to remain in where they are and give birth. And these are extremely serious issues. Undocumented workers, again, they have to leave those countries, but unfortunately there are still no flights. They're not able to leave. Government of India is not able to bring them back. I think that is the larger issue right now concerning us, the undocumented workers and workers who are running out of money in various Gulf countries, who have called us desperately, asking us if there is any way that Government of India can repatriate them. Internal migrants, of course, who work in different parts of India, largely sourced from what we call the 6 states, the BIMARU states, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan. A lot of them have gone back. Tamil Nadu itself, the state that I am from, witnessed about 1 million people going back on foot, on all kinds of vehicles, on cycles, trying to bicycle their way 1,000 miles, for instance, and all of that. I mean, it was the largest human tragedy that you ever can witness, the plight of domestic migrant workers trying to go back to their homes. Now, once they go back home, both these groups are stigmatized, as Dilrukshi had pointed out, because there is a version that these migrant workers are bringing COVID with them. In fact, even today, there is a report which has been released by Government of Tamil Nadu, where a couple of people who had come out from Gulf countries were actually COVID positive. And that's a huge concern. And they are being isolated. They are being put in isolation facilities where there is absolutely no facility for them to even have a proper bath and all that. And there are a host of issues. I think I'm running out of time. So there are 2 issues, basically internal migration and international migration. Both groups have almost similar problems. They're running out of money. They want to go home. They want to at least die in a place that they are familiar with. And the government is not doing enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just in the right time. Thank you.